Hello again, friends. Today we are going to insert some fire alarm devices in a Revit model using AI. For our tech stack, for Revit, I'm going to be doing this in Revit 2022. It works through 2027, so it works in recent versions, but it does work all the way back to 2022. We're going to be using Claude code to drive the AI, and we're going to be using FireBIM to connect the two. It has an MCP server specific for fire alarm design in Revit, so it can talk to Revit and it can talk to Claude code. Let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to give Claude some instructions. I want to insert some fire alarm devices in Revit, so I'm asking it to come up with a plan, verify that plan, and then kind of start small with one room and work from there. We'll let Claude think for a little bit and then come back and see what it says to us. It thought for a bit, gave me some information about the building, and now it's asking me some questions about how to do this design. First, it wants to know the code basis. We're going to go ahead and use NFPA. Then it wants to know the notification appliance type. We will do a horn strobe system, and then how much smoke detection coverage. We'll go ahead and go selective. So we selected all the defaults, and it'll keep thinking. Let's scroll up and see what it told us. It took a look at the model, found it for us, saw that there are no fire alarm devices. It came up with the proposed design for level 1. It has a number of areas, and it proposed detection and notification devices for everything. It suggested where to put the pole stations, and then a sequence where it's going to do that little pilot that I asked for, and then level 1 and 2 and 3. We answered some questions. And then it actually tried inserting the devices, so it went straight to doing the pilot for us. It had a little bit of trouble based upon the design of the model, but it was able to use Revit to figure out where things went. And then it tells us it put some devices in MZR and WC. So those are the rooms it was inserting. That's what it inserted in there. And then it calls out some things that we might want to look at. But let's go over to Revit and take a look at that. So on level 1, this was that MZR, I think it's some sort of mezzanine room. It's got some smoke detectors and the horn strobes on the walls. Over here, we've got the strobe in that bathroom there. So it was able to lay out all those devices. That looks reasonably good. Let's see what feedback it gave us, and then we can tell it to keep going. So it called out that there's a little bit of an issue with the ceiling modeling. I'm not sure if you've ever had issues with the architectural model, but the AI can deal with that. It's doing its best. There's some curtain walls that are just glass, so it's not putting devices on those. And then it calls out how it's doing that single horn. It's doing 2 horns rather than 1, just so that you as an engineer can review what it's doing, think about whether that's a good choice or not. That all looks good, so we'll tell it to keep going and finish the rest of floor 1. We'll let it think for a bit and then come back and see what it does. It has finished the first level. Let's go take a look at what it did in Revit. So we zoom out here, and we've got heat detectors in a lot of these rooms. We've got smoke detectors in this corridor. There's a horn strobe here. So you just kind of take a look, and it has filled out this layout for us with all of our devices. So it inserted everything on floor 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at the feedback it gave us and just kind of watch what it did. So it spent a bunch of time just figuring out where everything went. Had a little trouble with some walls, but it sorted all of that out. And then it gave us the kind of the final output. It gives us a count of the number of devices, told us where it inserted things. And then it does tell us a couple things to look at. It tells us about that main entrance pole station that the architectural model doesn't have anything to host it to, so it's going to put it there, and then in construction, they're going to have to sort out what to actually connect it to. Then it had a little trouble with the curtain wall and did its best and told us how it adjusted for that. And it inferred the ceiling heights because none of those are actually modeled. Then it points out the things that it hasn't done, including circuiting, addresses, battery calculations, and I was asking, do we want to do level 2 and 3? Rather than do that, let's actually jump over to the circuiting side, and let's go ahead and circuit up level 1. All right, it's done. Let's take a look at what it did. So it built us 2 SLC loops and 3 NAC loops off the FACP. It circuited them all for us. It then started to deal with the voltage drop. I told it to not worry about that. We'll come back to the loads in a moment. and then it reported what it did. Here's the circuits, the devices on them, the number of devices. Then it tells us we still need to address those loads. We can't insert wires or do the riser directly, so let's go ahead and just do that in Revit. So let's select this. Let's put in some wires here. That's probably not how you would do it, but just for the purposes of this demo, we'll just accept the wiring that it provides. All right, so now we've got our wiring in there, and then we can go ahead and create a riser diagram of this as well. So let's create a drafting view for this. And we're going to use FireBIM to create this riser. So everything up to this point has been standard Revit, inserting devices, circuiting, and then FireBIM is our add-on that adds fire alarm specific functionality to Revit, including the ability to do riser diagrams. So let's put in that fire alarm control panel. Let's insert the annunciator. We'll just throw that down here. And then we can insert all of those circuits. It inserted the circuits for us. It had a little bit of trouble here where these two are overlapping. So let's remove that circuit and fix that. All right, so now we have all of our circuits inserted. So these are the devices that it has inserted. We have addresses. And so this is based upon how they're inserted and how they're wired in the model. So we have an automatic riser from FireBIM based upon what we created in Revit. If we update the model later, this riser will update to reflect that as well. Now we have our voltage drop and battery calcs to sort out. Let's go figure out the devices that were inserted so that we can go get those loads from manufacturer cut sheets. So I'll prompt Claude to give us a list of devices, and then we'll get those load values. All right, I've got load values. I'm going to paste those in, and we will let it load those load values into the Revit families for us so that then we can do our calculations based upon them. It's putting all the loads in the families for us. A little bit of a unit issue, milliamps versus amps. It sorted it out, and it's getting everything specified. It's done inserting the loads. Let's take a look at what it did. Put the loads on all of the devices, and now we have the loads on all of those circuits. It does note that NAC circuit 2 is a bit tight, that it had to upsize for the voltage drop. And it gives us a couple different solutions there. It also wasn't able to set the panel loads, which actually can be done in FireBIM, so I'm not sure if it's confused about what's available or if that's not exposed through the MCP. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to give it some feedback on the panel and see if it can set the loads in them. And in true AI fashion, you're right. I missed the panel load tools entirely. Well, it'll go use it now for us. Finished that. Now let's go ahead and insert those two schedules so that we have the calculations. So we will insert our voltage drop schedule, and we will insert the battery schedule as well. And we can take a look at these. We're doing point-by-point voltage drop, so it lists the starting voltage and then the voltage along the run based upon each device. So it has that for all of the circuits. And then over in our battery calculations, we have all of the devices. We have the internal panel loads. And then we have the final battery size. So all of this load and voltage drop and battery calculations, that's part of FireBIM. Obviously, that's not natively in Revit, but that's what our add-in is adding in there. So if you need to do risers and you need to do calculations, you can get FireBIM and add those to your fire alarm design in Revit. That's a good place to stop for today. There's more work to be done on this design. We've got floors 2 and 3. We've got that NAC 2 circuit that it has the voltage drop issue. So there's obviously more work as the designer to do, but you can see how using the MCP server and Claude Code can drive that fire alarm design. I cut out all the times when Claude was thinking. Wall clock time, this probably took about an hour for Claude to do all of this work. You may or may not have been able to do it that fast by yourself, but while it was doing that hour's worth of work, you're able to work on other things. So Claude can work in the background, lay out all this information. You can go back, give it feedback as appropriate, and it works on your fire alarm design while you're working on other engineering tasks that you have. This is all running software that is available today. We are running Revit 2022 for fun, but it does work in 2022 through 2027. We were using Claude Code, which is obviously available, and then the MCP server is running in FireBIM, which is available today. So you can actually run this on your fire alarm designs today if you want to. The free trial for FireBIM is available on our website at designmaster.biz.